Good morning, student. Today I have decided to discuss a very unique topic under the course of entrepreneurship development and business communication skills of extension education. Under this subject, I have decided to discuss a very unique topic that essential leadership communication skills. This is the topic for the day which I have decided to discuss with you people. So, objective of discussions are that to learn about the importance of communication skills in leadership, and the second, the essential communication skills for leadership. It means we are discussing the two important aspects. That first one is the importance of communication skills in leadership, and then the essential communication skills for the leaders. So these are the two concepts which we'll discuss thoroughly in this chapter. Now, the first, the ability to adapt your communication style. This is the actually the importance of that communication that skills in leader. Different communication styles are the most frequently cited cause of poor communication. According to the Economic Intelligence Unit (PDF), and the and can lead more significant issues such as unclear priorities and increased stress. Because if we are not having clarity about what to do, when to do, then we have a little bit that the hurdles those who are being raised in between the communication, that the encoding and decoding, and what ultimately we want to achieve. If the message is not precise, specific, then these kind of that situation they arise that cause the stress in the people to whom we have communicated. It's essential to identify your leadership style so that you can better understand how are you interacting with and perceived by employee across the organization. For example, if you are an authoritative leader, you likely have a clear vision for achieving success and align your team accordingly. While an effective approach for some, if it might fall flat, others who seek more autonomy in their role. Because if you are an authoritative type of leader, just like Nehru was, so then you don't listen that whatever you have decided that is your prime objective to achieve those things, and there is no space for others that the thoughts and thinking. So that kind of that style, if we are adopting, then to be that to be the leadership style. That is also being one of the leadership style, just like the Hitler is having, just like Mr. Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India. He is having. He is authoritarian type of approach he was having. Whatever he feel that's right, that he wants that everybody should follow. So that kind of is authoritative. That kind of style is there. Then there is no space remains for the people those who are having the different opinion. You like, because in that authoritative leader opinion, you likely have a clear vision for achieving success and aligning your team accordingly. While an effective approach for some, it might fall flat for others who seek more autonomy in their life, in their role. Every employee's motivation are different, so knowing how to tailor your communication is essential to influencing others and reaching organizational goals. Actually the style where we are thinking about the democratic that approach. Developing your personal brand as a leader will be a journey you follow throughout your career. Know that stepping into a management role does not mean losing your authenticity, but it can mean a different kind of required work by taking time. So, self reflection, understanding the influence of bias, and seeking out opportunity to demonstrate your bravery, you can develop a leadership style that it all your own. Four tips of personal that how we can develop the personal that leadership style. That these are the four that things. If you develop in your day-to-day life, if you if you learn these things, then you will become a leader of that which is leader of mass. Initiation of the enemy. That is very initiation of the enemy. That how we can have the how we in what way we are handling the different opinion, because they are not your only enemy, those who are having the different opinion. So that is to be how we can accommodate them with their own skills and talent, and that opinion, if they have the different opinion. Know your strength. That the leader, if we want to develop a leader, then first you have to identify the strength those you are possessing, and then you have to know that what kind of that area of improvement is required uh, to become a perfect leader or to become a leader of mass. So that if you are doing well, it means the person who want to become a successful leader, he was supposed to do his analysis, SWOT analysis at his own first. Because for raising fingers towards others, let us have a first finger in our own direction, in our own style of that functioning. That what are the strength he is possessing, and what kind of the things, or what kind of that that to things to need to be improved. So that if you are having this clarity with the proper analysis, then you will become a very good leader. And these are the ways to develop the personal leadership style. Understand the influence of bias. Yes, this is also very important, that how the other people, those who are having their own interest for seeking benefit from a leader, that if leader is not having that kind of that understanding, or that kind of vision to understand and to step out, that those who are having their own interest, and they are influencing the entire process, and the outcome of any process or any policy. So if the leader have that kind of understanding, who can differentiate in between the bias and then the freedom, and in between the biasness, and in between the equal opportunity to all, that to be that strength to be required, and to understanding that to be required from a leader. And he has to develop these skills to identify the bias, those who are influencing the entire process of leadership. And be brave. Leaders should lead from the front. That kind of example he has to set. When the problem is there, then leaders should not ask seeking that the delegation to others. Because if you are a leader, you have to prove that you have having the confidence that how to face the situation, and that can be help your because this is inculcate within the line, and down the line it will go. And then the people, those who are following you as a leader, or those who are having the opinion that our leader is going in the right direction, and he had a capacity to sort out the any uncertainties in during within the process. So if that kind of that thing, if you developed in yourself, then you can have the good and personal leadership style. These are the few things. Then after that, that first one, that we have ability to adapt communication style. Then we have discussed the four tips of becoming a good leader. And then the second one, active listening. Yes, listeners, if listening skills is a is a unique technique to develop a good to become a good leader or manager. Effective leaders know when they need to talk, and more importantly, when they need to listen, so that you care. You are asking for employees' opinion, ideas, and feedback. And when they have to do share actively, engage in the conversation, post questions, invite them to celebrate, elaborate, and take notes. It's important to say in the movement and avoiding interrupting. If you are focused on employee and what it is they are saying, to achieve that, also need to eliminate any distractions, including constant things on your cell phone or checking incoming emails. That the active listening is very important. Active, it's not hearing that if you are listening, it means you are putting your all efforts, all attention to understand that what is coming, and what you are decoding, so whatever is coming in the form of the voice in your mind, in your brain. So that the active listening is very important. It's not hearing that how. And a good leader or good manager, if he is having the active listening skills, so then he can have the list of that ideas to sort out the problem. Because the listening is listening give you the idea, and listening give you the idea to analyze the situation properly, and then to react on that population, for the problem. So active listening is very important, and this is also the important that leaders have important to have a good leadership, or uh, the, to develop a unique leadership style. Transparency is also transparency. In a survey by American Management AMA, more than a third senior managers, executives, and employees said that hardly ever know what is going on in their organization. Transparency can go a long way in breaking down the communication barrier. That's why we know that if we are not transparent, what actually we have to have a common understanding from top to bottom, that what is our goal, what are our objectives, in what we will proceed, and what is the role of each and every individual in the chain. That kind of clarity, if we are not having, if we are not having in the system, then unfortunately the purpose of that entire that exercise will become a futile exercise, because the directions, the purpose of every activity to be have a commonality. It means the purpose of any activity, if we are having the common understanding from top to bottom, then it will help us to achieve the objectives and goal in a stipulated time, and the financial resources which we have utilized for that, for achieving that. So transparency at every level is very important. By speaking openly about the company's goal, opportunities, and challenges, leaders can build trust among their team and fosters an environment where the employee feel empowered to share their ideas and collaborate. Just acknowledging mistake can encourage the experimentation and create a safe space for active problem solving. Every individual should understand the role and they play in company's success. The more transparent leaders are, easier it is to for employees to make that connection. Because if there is no hide and seek game, there is nothing like that, because we have to have a clarity that what kind of vision the organization is having, in what way the things will achieve, and what are the objectives and goals. If we have a clarity from top to bottom, and the role of every that stakeholder to be defined with clarity, job responsibilities, then the action plan, those who are to, we have to have a clarity, so we can easily trace out where we have made the mistakes when we do the analysis, and that mistake can be easily facilitated by the improving, by the value addition by the leaders of different stages. So to identify the to identify and to analyze the situation properly, transparency is the key. Transparency in this system is key. Then clarity. That clarity should be required, that when we communicating with employees, speak in specific, that each should have the same, that the common understanding. Define the desired result of a project or a strategic initiative. Be clear about what you want to see achieved by end of the each milestone. If goals are not being met, try simplification of your message further, or ask how you can provide additional clarity to help. The more clear you are, less confusion there will be around priorities. Employees will know what they are working towards, and feel more engaged in the process. So clarity, it means it's a common understanding that in what way, whatever the leader communicated to the end user, or the follower, we stand by in the end row, have a common understanding. That kind of clarity if we have in the system, then definitely we can easily achieve our objectives and goals, and there is no confusion remain among the stakeholders, that what they are doing and what actually they want to be after that process, those they are following. So if the common understanding and commonality in the understanding is with the clarity, that is a key of success for a leader, and he will become a good leader. Then ability to ask open-ended questions, that we have to provide that environment where each one feels free to ask if he is any question or any query. If in his mind, if we are creating the environment like the authoritarian or the autocratic leader, then definitely the people will not ask anything to you, because they follow, they are just there to follow whatever being asked. So they'll not apply their mind, and if they'll have any query, they'll not ask. So that kind of that open ended question, that kind of forum we have to provide. And if there may be some silly questions may be asked by somebody else, so you can easily plant them into the parking lot. And but this situation provide you the so many good questions, and so many good challenges, those who are to be raised by the people, those, if you will address them on time, then the success of that entire project is little bit more, as compared to if you will not provide the open ended forum to ask and to raise the voice of different opinion. So the current group said to the Society Human Resource Management to use the acronym TED, which stands for T stand for Tell Me More, E stand for Explain what you mean, and define that theme or concept for me. So if this TAD formula I will use in the way of that proceeding in the communication, then you will become a good leader, if you want to be that the skill which you want to earn. By leveraging those phrases when speaking with your team, you can elicit more thoughtful through responses, and ensure you also have a clarity around that they need from you to succeed. So this is also very important, that the leader should have to develop the skills himself, that how we can have the clarity of the message which he want to send to down the line. Empathy. There is a reason empathy has been ranked the top. Empathy is nothing. It is just that we can understood, the leader should understood the emotional outburst. He having the skills of understanding the emotional, that outreach of the people. The There is a reason empathy has been ranked the top leadership skill needed for success. The better you get the acknowledging and understanding employees' feeling and experiences, the more heard and valued they will feel. They feel, if you are able to give them the proper space, that and if you will give them the proper space in the process, and and they realize that they are being heard at any sort of that situation, and they'll feel better. In recent survey, 96% of respondents say it was important for their employers to demonstrate empathy, yet 92% claim it remains undervalued. If you want to improve your communication and build a strong if you want to improve your communication and build a stronger, more productive culture, practice responding with empathy. Practice responding with empathy. Because this is the key. You are not dealing with the machine, you are dealing with the human aspirants. Those who are working at any position in your system, in your way to reach towards your goal and destination. So if you are now working as an empathy, that the emotional outbreath of the people, if you are understanding, you develop that skill, then you have a very good that to be practice responding with empathy is very important for a leader. Emotional intelligence is also known as an emotional quotient, or EQ, is the ability to understand and manage your emotions and emotions of others. If you want to enhance your leadership capability, here are the 5 emotional intelligence skills you need and ways you can develop them. So, number one, the self awareness. Self awareness is having a clear understanding of your strengths, limitations, emotions, belief, and motivations. So, first you have to understood that what kind of what you are, what kind of person you are. If you are not knowing yourself first, then it's very difficult to interact with others, and to have a better understanding about others. So that to be very much important for a leader to have to improve his leadership capabilities. That how we can have the emotional intelligence skills, self-regulation. That's how you can have control over yourself. That pausing before responding, taking a step back, and recognizing your emotions. That all these are the three steps that you can regulate yourself, and that will help you out to become a good leader, and that will help you out to become a good to develop a good leadership capabilities on the emotional intelligence skills aspect. Then the empathy. That empathy is the capability to understanding other person's experience and emotions. So that if the leader is having and developing the skills of empathy, then definitely he'll become a good leader, and that will help him to build the good leadership capability. Then motivation. Motivation refers to your ability to inspire both yourself and others to action. That other actions, if they are inspired, they are influenced by the way you are talking, the way you are communicating, the way you are working. That to be required to build in a good leader, and it helps if you have that skills. If you are developing this intelligence skills, then definitely you have build a very good leadership capabilities, that to be the need of the leader. Then the social skills. Social skills are all about you perceive emotions and interact the communicative with others. Yet you have to open the door for all. That to be that you should have provide opportunity to that you personal touch, that interpersonal relationship. If you're having from down to top, that kind of that IPR, if you have developed, where the people feel that you are working, you are thinking for them. That kind of that social skills, that socialite you are, that if you are introvert, then it's very difficult that you develop this social skills. So that leader, if we want to become the or develop the intelligence, that skills, under that for developing the good leadership capabilities, he has to develop these social skills. If you give up in your current skill set, there are actions you can take to boost up your emotional intelligence method. There are certain that methods you can utilize to boost up these five skills. They are like that. Try journaling. It means you start writing that act and that work day. Reflect on your how your meeting, project and interactions went, whether positive or negative. That try journaling. It means you have to write the entire activity and process in advance, and that will help you that how to interact with. So that is a way that you can develop the self awareness and self regulation in the system, and that will help you to develop the both of these emotional intelligence skills through try journaling. Then undergo at a 360-degree assessment. That is very important. The self assessment is very important. Your solicit feedback from your manager, colleagues, and peers, while also understanding an individual self assessment. That undergoing, if you are undergoing the individual self, until and unless you will have undergoing the 360 degree, that assessment is required to reach a particular decision, that to be taken, or particular that the guidance to be given to others, that to be done. That if you do this, undergo this 360 degree, that assessment, that process, then definitely you will have a much more that self regulation and self awareness. Then you will have a more empathetical, motivational, and social skills with you. Practice active listening. That to be a key. That if you want to, if you don't have that, if you are so impatient or aggressive by nature, then and if you are poor in listening skills, then the chances of that mistakes and because of the hurry and all, they are much more. So leader and the manager should develop, always work on the listening skills, because this is the part, this is the key for the success. According to psychology today, only 10% of people listen effectively. If it means 90% people, they just do the hearing. They are not listening. It means listening means you are applying your mind equally, and you are concentrating yourself with 100%, that approach, that whatever is coming, and in the form of the voice in your ear. You are giving the 100% active attention to achieve to analyze the things which you have heard. It's easy to get distracted by technology, back noise or telephone or all. But if you want to become a good listener, then you have to continuously work on that. And if you are able to do it, then you will be very comfortable position. So that the five that emotional skills and how you can develop that emotional skills further to become a good leader. That we have discussed. Now pay attention to your emotions. You have to little bit more cautious while you are having while you are expressing the emotions. To understand the emotions of others, you need to understand your own first. When you catch yourself feeling a particular strong emotion, whether it's a positive or negative one, make a conscious effort to think about what you are feeling. Take a second and consider why you are having the feeling this way and what might have triggered up such a strong emotions response. So that if you think little bit although you are having, you are full of that emotions and you are just going to outburst, let us have a movement of thought that why you have such type of emotions against that situation, against that person, or against that result, or against that activity which are to be done by the others. So that kind of that is positive or negative maybe, but let us have a first analysis and understanding that why you have concluded on that. This will help you to become more aware of your own emotions and better understand your colleagues' emotions. As an empathetic leader, you will be able to cultivate a high-performing team. If you have the develop this attention on your emotions, if you are giving attention to your emotions, then you'll care the emotions of others. So that will help you to become a very to build a high performing team as a leader, and you will have a more chances of success in your day to day professional life. Then the fifth one, take an online course or training. Yes, if you are not having the capacity to if you have not got the opportunity to go through the academic process of learning a good leadership skill, then you take a training from a online course you can have. You manage that there are plenty of that courses are available. How to develop the organizational skills or leadership skills, that can be that you can utilize to enhance your that competency which you are lacking. If you are interested in diving diving deeper in the emotional intelligence and enhancing your leadership capabilities, taking an online course or training could be the best next step to perform and to proceed in the process of learning for a good quality leader. Now the open body language, that is also very important. That our actions sometimes they speak more than what you have said from your in your speech. So that the communication is just not what you have said; it's how you carry yourself. 93% of communication impacts come from non-verbal cues, according to executive coach Darrell Pryor. The intelligent leader, they just through their eyes they sometimes give the message, and that to be decoded by the people those who are following that leader. And that is exactly the that in what way you say, it's not important the in what way your body is giving the message. So that is very important. To ensure you are conveying the right message, focus on your body language. If you are trying to inspire someone, talking with clinch, fist and furrow brow is not going to send the right message. Instead of make eye contact, because that eyeball to eyeball contact is very important. That the body language and the eyeball to eyeball contact and the tone, the pause and all these they are the barrier. If you are not using that all these the linguistic that style of communicating the people, that will having the less impact of your communication. So make eye contact to establish interest and rapport. That is very important. And flash a genuine smile to convey warmth and the trust. If you have the if you are not spreading that smile is the one of the feature of the human beings only, because this is the feature which only possesses God has given to the human being. So sometimes we through smile, if we are communicating the generous smile, and the smile is very much important. At what time you have given the smile? Don't smile on the others' failure. Don't smile on the others that the sorrow and the failure, or sometimes that the damage real situation is there. You smile when you are responding to others. We have then it will be the more impactful, that the impact you are having on the others. Now the receiving and implementing feedback. Asking for feedback from your team can not only help you to grow a leader, but build trust among your colleagues. It is critical through that you don't just listen to feedback, you also need to act on it. That the receiving and the feedback, that is very important, that how you are reacting, because that the time of reaction not spontaneous. Yes, of course, sometimes it is required, but that you have to have a clarity. If you don't have clarity, then don't react, because until and unless you have a clarity, then you react. It will help you out to achieve your objectives, and it is definitely a value addition for the person to whom you are giving the analysis of your feedback and your opinion. That is very important. If you continue to receive feedback from your team but don't implement any changes, they are going to lose faith in your ability to follow through. It is likely there will be a comments on you cannot immediately act on, be transparent about that. Because of any reason, if you are busy somewhere else, then you communicate them immediately. I have gone through, I have received your feedback, and very soon I'll let you know that what is my opinion. So that instead of reacting immediately, you have to react and give your feedback on time. Then to give feedback, this is also a very important that thing, that how to give feedback. That will So that the receiving and implementing feedback, which is also very important. That's why that thing which I have discussed in the that how the we can have the feedback effectively. Let us have a first that receiving and implementing feedback. Asking for feedback from your team can only help you to grow as a leader, but build trust among your colleagues. It is critical of how you don't have just listen to feedback. You also need to act on it, because if you are not acting on time on the feedback which you have received from your teammate, then it will give the negative feedback. It will give the negative that message that the boss is not listening our voice, and he is not giving any reaction on the feedback, so that they lost faith in you. So that situation is very important, that you have to recognize that the feedback, whatever the feedback is there, timely, and then only when you recognize the feedback on time, then you have a very good opportunity to understood that what is actually there, and on the basis of that you can understood that what kind of that feedback is to be required, and then that to be assessed time and again, and which is helpful for you. So if you continue to receive feedback from team but don't implement any changes, they are going to lose faith in you, your ability to follow through. It's a likely there will be a comment on you can't immediately act. That is very important. That until and unless you go through the understanding and that conclude and the analysis, and then you can have a final understanding about the feedback. Till then, you just give them comment that I have received your feedback. Thank you very much. I'll let you know very soon. That will give you the time that in the process to process and to conclude that in what way actually you want to respond to the feedback which you have in your hand. So how that now once again I'll go through that. Now it's connectivity, how to give feedback effectively. That is very important. If you find giving feedback uncomfortable, you are not alone. 44% of managers agreed in a recent survey that delivering negative feedback is stressful, while 21% admitted to avoiding the act altogether. So this is the situation of our managers. It means they are very much comfortable in a comfortable zone. Then it's a pathetic situation that to be addressed in the stakeholders, because there is a different skill sets for different assignments and tasks. For example, the managers, those who are working as a frontline position, or they are being as a frontline leader, it means that ultimately they have a team of the people, those who are being responsible on the assignment, those who are given in the form of the objectives and goals. So that manager they are managing, so they require here the different sets of skills. Whereas the managers, those who are managing the manager, they require the different set of competencies. So these kind of that situation, or when the people managers managing the teammates, that they require the different set of that skills. So that is very important, that how you can have the the how you can have uplifted the competency and the skills of your manager, so they can easily handle the situation, so they can easily handle the things. So that if you are nervous or don't know where to start, here is how you can provide feedback more effectively. That's how exercise empathy. That to be very much important, that you have to develop the empathy skills, that you are better understanding the emotion and experience of others. If you have that skills, then you can have very good opportunity to give the feedback, to react on the feedback which you have in your hand. Take time to prepare. Yes, it is very important. Don't do anything in hurry, because being as a leader, you are deciding the pace of entire team, and then you are leading the fate of the team. So that you take time, but you acknowledge that whatever the feedback is there. Then speak in specifics, that you have to have very specific in your words, that what kind of that advice, or that what kind of that opinion you have expressed. Don't unnecessarily discuss the things time and again, because unnecessary discussions dilute the impact of your discussion. So that is very important, that speak in a specific manner and specifically, point wise and concurrently, not here and there. You have to have very clear cut that the specific that observation which you have about the feedback which you have received. Save time for inquiry. Yes, you have to save unnecessary policing and all. That to be done only if you have the managerial that competencies and to assess the bias and all that the effective that emotional skills if you have with you, then you can have the opportunity to save time for unnecessary wastage of inquiry in the form of the inquiry. Focus on the future. That is very important because the every that the lacuna or every feedback which you have received in the form of the feedback, leader should think about the future and getting lesson and the better understanding that in what way they have to proceed in future course of action. If that kind of that opinion leader is having with him, then he will be very much helpful for the team to give the feedback and then the future what we'll do, how we can escape our team from the unnecessary hurdles those they have faced in the past. So that kind of because the feedback is become will become a future path actually with more clarity and definitely it ensure the success in future course of action. So the feedback how you can have the analytical skills to analyze the feedback and how you can have that much of the skills you have developed to address the issues those who are being raised in the form of the feedback by your teammates, because these all are very important issues. If you know them, then you can have better that the path for your team to proceed further for the final destination and the vision and mission of the organization or institute to whom you are serving as a leader or as a part of that in the leadership channel. So thank you very much for putting your attention on a very vital issue, vital subject that today which we have discussed over here, and I hope you'll have a better understanding of that. So now you have a clarity about these two objectives. Now we understood that what is the importance of communication skills and essential that communication skills those who are being required to become an effective leader and become a successful mass leader that we have discussed thoroughly. So thank you very much for your continuous attention on the subject.